What is up? Welcome back to the Long and Thick podcast. We are joined by Cassandra Grippe, IFBB pro, coach, and nutritionist. What the hell is up, Cassandra?
Hello. What's going on?
Now, this is your guys' first formal meeting outside of just passerby in the gym. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Cassandra's always very dialed, goes in with a lot of intention. That's very clear.
I'm either always in a rush or just have my hat down and not know what's going on. And I feel bad because everyone's like, hey, I know you from the gym. And I'm like, oh, I don't know your face. But
that's okay.
No, I mean, it's just, you just have to live in a constant state of hey, you, and what's up, guy? What up, big dog? Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Buddy. Hey, tiger.
Yeah.
So Cassandra, this is Ronnie. He is a therapist over at Nashville Chiropractic, therapist, movement specialist, coach, and specialist himself. So welcome.
Pleasure to meet you.
We'll have to talk about that more afterwards because Daniel also said that you guys are fantastic over there, and I am in the need of a chiropractor.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We'll get you right. Come on through.
They are legit. So, Cassandra, we're going to jump right in. Where did you start in the world of fitness? Take us through the various channels that kind of took you and allowed you to arrive at present day.
It's just I feel like fitness has always obviously been a huge part of my life. I mean, I was an athlete growing up. I mean, I played all sports. I played soccer, basketball, track, everything. I was the only athlete actually in my family though. But it was my dad, he wrestled and things in high school. My mom was not, love her, but not athletic at all. Definitely just kind of always the black sheep of the family. I went to college. So I'm originally from upstate New York. I, very too, with 4 stoplights. So never thought I'd be here in Nashville either. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
So, from there I went to college. I played, D3 soccer in college. And I always just had a passion for sports. Even, when you're in high school and they're telling you that you have to be, what do you want to be when you get older? And I just never knew the daring question of I always knew I wanted something with sports. I thought physical therapy. I didn't know what it was. So in college, I kind of did pre-med and the plan was med school. So while I was in college, I always, obviously I did soccer. And then while that ended, I was like, well, what am I going to do now? So when I was going on for my med school, I was on the side coaching group fitness classes. And I got into the coaching space, I guess. And then I used to do ASO soccer and coach things like that. But that's when I started to learn more about nutrition, was when I was doing those group fitness classes. And then on the side, that's where I kind of saw that my own personal transformation. I was never overweight or heavy by any means, but I was a stockier, short girl. I'm only 5'3". But once I dialed in macros and things like that, that's when I took a really big passion to nutrition as well, and kind of just kept in lifting weights and putting the two together and just seeing my body kind of transform. From the group classes, actually, that's when I kind of got into, which Dan knows too, I started in powerlifting. Because I always had that competitor side to me. So I started doing powerlifting and things like that. And I found out I was freakishly strong. I did first meet in 2021 and I actually broke a New York State record for deadlift. It was at the time I was 142 pounds and I deadlifted 390.
Gnarly.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a crazy video too. Cause I think it was, not only was it the weight wise, it was the longest deadlift of my life. I was shaking and it was just 30 seconds long, whatever.
Did they give you 3 whites though?
Yeah, they did. Actually, no, I did get 1 X, I think. And then I got the 2 whites or whatever, because the one judge tried to say that I was hiking it, or hitching it.
Hitching. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So from there, I just continued school, all the things. And then, COVID happened. Shut down the world, and then New York was insane. It was prison basically. You couldn't go anywhere. It was insane. I didn't know what I was going to do because that's all I did was go to the gym. So at the time I was living 2.5 hours away from my hometown, and I had my little Civic, and I put 400 pounds of weight from my dad's gym. We just had weights in the basement, plates and stuff, because my brothers back then thought they whatever. I literally stole them all, and I drove them back 2.5 hours, and I made the dingiest little basement gym in Albany, New York. And that was when, like, I didn't know when the gyms would open back up, everything. And at that time, my aunt kind of did the same thing. And my uncle was a really big bodybuilder back in his day. And she made like a basement gym, and she put his picture on the wall. And she told me, she's like, the only way you can make the walls if you do a bodybuilding show. So I was like, all right,
Okay.
challenge accepted. So I took COVID and did my own prep. Back then I really wish like I filmed like I do now for social media, because it was literally the dingiest, shittiest, scariest basement ever. Like I was
Fuck yeah.
doing cinder blocks, like random shit. Like it was wild.
That's badass.
And then I did my first bodybuilding show. It was May of 2021, and knew nothing about it. I mean, I look back at my pictures and I was just, the posing was horrendous, whatever. But I ended up winning my pro card, my first show. And
Really?
Damn.
yes. And it was, at the time, it was, the federation was OCB. And I remember the judges kind of like asked me where I came from, and they're like, you belong in the pro leagues. And I was like, yeah, I just came from my basement in Albany, New York. I don't really know like
Such
anything
a good
about
story.
So
Wow.
3 months later, in OCB, they do, it's called the Orton Cup, and it's like kind of like the Super Bowl of natural bodybuilding. And I qualified for it since I had my pro card. So at that point, I already did like my prep and everything. And I was like, you know what, screw it. Like, let me just go and see what we can do. And at the time it was in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's where the first Orton was. And I went against like 58 girls, I think. And I mean, obviously I was just there. I mean, I feel so bad like saying it too, like I was just there, but it was just so new to me. And I was just kind of there for the experience, like enjoying backstage, all the things. I ended up getting third. And,
wow.
and I remember everybody was just like, you're like so new to this sport. And I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I know. I guess I'm good at it. So that's where I hung up my powerlifting days, and I moved into bodybuilding. And then
Interesting.
here I came back and I actually won the whole thing. I won the Orton Cup in 2022. And then that's when I took a year off, and I took all of 2023 off. And then 2024, I came back for NPC. That was my first season going for my IFBB pro card. And that's when I obviously met Dan too, and all the things. And that was the longest journey of my life, because I qualified. My first national show is like, that's where you can get your IFBB pro card. And I was only expected to do one national show, and I ended up doing 3 in a row, because the first 2 I did was I got second place. So I was 1 place away from my pro card. And it was the longest prep ever. I really didn't think I could do it. And then finally, the third show, I ended up getting my pro card.
Fuck
So-
yeah.
So sick.
A year later. So that's
Wait,
fun.
so when was the switch, or when did you move to Nashville?
So I moved to Nashville in 2023.
Okay.
And in June of 2023. Same thing, packed my Civic up, didn't know anybody, and I just moved to Nashville.
Did the 400 pounds come with you to Nashville?
It wasn't 400 pounds of weight, but it was 400 pounds of just random shit. Yes, whatever.
Just life, yeah.
Yes.
So is the small town you're from in Albany or a different part of New York?
It's in, I always say by Syracuse, but it's considered like Utica, New York, if anybody knows.
Okay. I'm from Long Island, so
okay.
I'm familiar with New York. I have family in, God, what is the name of the area? Way the fuck up there. And then I have a sister who lives in, like by Poughkeepsie. So like, that starts to expose you to more of the like greater, New York State. But
No,
I have a bunch of New Yorkers.
Well, that's the thing. Since I've been down here, I've met so many people from New York, but it is like a very, like even Long Island, like New York City, Long Island, upstate, they're all
Different worlds. Yep.
Yes, for sure.
I was just curious because when you said small town, it's like only a couple stoplights or stop signs. My mom is from a rural part outside of Buffalo, which is also like a very tiny thing.
Okay.
So I was like, what are the odds? But, okay. So you had your stint in powerlifting. I've personally seen you pull gnarly weight at the gym. Is there a fire still within you that kind of wants to return to the platform? And, you are a coach yourself. Do you coach anyone in the powerlifting space?
And it's funny because I feel like a lot of people ask me this too. And there's just nothing like, because you deadlift too. And there is just nothing like pulling weight. Like, I don't care. Everything that I've done in my career, like when you personally, I love deadlifting, like squatting is great too. But like when you pull a strong lift, especially at a powerlifting meet, things like that, like the energy is just unreal. And like the endorphins and the high you get from it is just amazing. I always say that like maybe one day I'll go back. Like, I don't know how much longer I can do the bodybuilding. Now that I'm IFBB pro, I do have to make my pro debut and see what the goals are there, but I can't say never. For right now, maybe not anytime soon. But I do, and you said as far as like anyone on my roster, back when I was in New York, I did train a few more, like I had more girls on my roster because I would train them in person too for powerlifting. There are 2 girls. One girl, I'm really trying to get her to do a meet because she's really strong. But as far as like just powerlifting, not so much anymore on my roster. But I do definitely, even in my own personal training, inquire like a bunch of power building. Like I still think the fundamentals or like anything of a good foundation comes from powerlifting or bigger lifts. So, I mean, that's still like a lot of my programming for a lot of people for the most part.
Yeah.
The only bad side of it, of course, as you know too, like anything, just the wear and tear as we age and get older. So I don't know. I can't say never. So I always do. It is always in the back of my head.
So you said you're kind of have a looming pressure for the IFBB side. When do you think that shakes loose?
I know.
Not to put you too on the spot.
Well, no, I know. And it's funny because so many people have asked me, and in this world, you meet so many, it's as big as it is all around the world. It's like, it's still a very small space. So you get to know everybody in bodybuilding.
Sure.
And it's just a lot
especially
of
at that elite level, it's a very small pool. I mean, it's the best of the best.
It really is. It is kind of wild. And it's funny even being, in Nashville, and it's like you hear things that are happening with other people in other states. And it's just wild how many people I know in this space. And a lot of girls that became pro with me last year or even in OCB or whatever it may be, a lot of them already made their pro debut this past season and things like that. So a lot of people are like, when are you going on stage? And I mean, last year was such a long prep. I was in prep for like 6 or 7 months.
Wow.
So I have no time to rush. I know the stage is always there. And my thing is, it's like coming from 2 really good, successful seasons, well, technically 3 seasons. It's like when I come, I want to be ready. I want to be ready, be competitive, and I want to be, if not like win. Like that's my thing. So to answer your question, maybe 2027, definitely not next year.
Okay.
But I would say maybe, if anything, early 2027, late 2027. We'll see.
Okay.
Cassandra, do you feel like you bring that same kind of attitude and mentality to like everything that you do, like that intensity and competitive sort of burn? Like, was that like instilled from all the athletics, like back in the day? Like, is that part of your core personality? Like, do you feel like that transfers into like other things that aren't fitness stuff? Like, I'm curious too, personally, like what are some of your like, hobbies that are not fitness? And do you feel like that same kind of thing drags into that or not really?
I would say now that I'm older and kind of like can reflect on things, it's definitely always been kind of like how my brain works, I guess. So like I said, no one in my family was really athletic. No one in my family went to college. I was the only one that went to college. I was going to finish med school. I did drop out of med school. But now here I am, and I created my own business. I work for myself. I was diagnosed with, which also was humbling, like in college, which all made sense. I was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. So like everything was always harder for me, but I'd never made it like an excuse. It just like, it was annoying because like my best friend was so freaking smart, like top 10 in class and everything. And I was just like, why is it so hard for me? Like I would just get pissed, like nothing. She never had to study all the things. And I was just like, and even in college. So it was like kind of humbling, but like also like an answer to me. I'm like, oh, okay. Like these things do make sense why everything's harder. I just feel like with bodybuilding, it's definitely the one thing that has shown, it's just proof that like you put in the work, you follow the plan, you get the results. It's almost black and white. Like, it's like, and it's just kind of those good habits and discipline and routine, like has definitely helped me in almost every avenue, especially at this point.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So
Well, that is a perfect segue into our next question. So, to say that you're an IFBB pro is a huge acclaim. It's a huge confirmation of all of that work and discipline and focus you've put in. Where is the balance between what you've gained in that pursuit and potentially what you've also lost as well in its obsession? And with that being said, is there anything that you would caution new initiates about before heading down that path themselves?
So I feel like now, and I just think it's life too as we get older, but it's just like I obviously in college and things, kind of back funny story how my own coaching business started too. When I was in school, I was always a bartender on the side, and I was known as the tequila girl. So way back when I used to, because I had friends in like CrossFit and different things, and I used to just love to do all the group fitness classes and everything way back when. And I used to just somehow on Saturday morning show up with a bottle of tequila in my trunk. That was like the joke. I always had the trunk tequila. So
pre-workout.
Yeah, literally. Like thinking of it now, it's so silly. Like it's so ridiculous. So in 2022, I started like a Team Tequila. It was TEKILLA. Was like
Sick.
a joke page like on Instagram, and then it took off, and then it was like legit my coaching company. And but that's when Grip Peak Performance is my coaching brand now. That's when I did the rebrand, just because it's professional. And I tried to, my thing back then was the balance of, oh yeah, you still can like drink and go out and have a good time and gains in the gym, where there is that fine line. But in all reality, like alcohol is so bad for you, and especially for muscle gains. And if you're trying to, physique development.
Yeah.
So I think for the balance, it's like I've found it's more just like what your body wants and what feels good. Like if you're happy with going out on the weekends and hitting the gym 3 days a week and you're happy doing it, I mean, that by all means do that. But if you are at my level, where I'm definitely extreme and don't compare myself to a lot of people, I just know for my goals, balance is finding what makes me happy, I guess. So saying no to some people, or if their goals don't align with me, it's not so much losing it. It's not so much that I lost the social events, because in prep, of course, you have to kind of hunker down and you say no to things, and you kind of lose that, like a lot of, it's not even relationships. It's just like I've said, it's like you kind of realize maybe those people in your life, like their goals aren't aligned with yours. And it's like kind of, I always say when, like, if I have competitors going to prep, I'm like, you always find out who your real friends are and who really, because it kind of is, bodybuilding is definitely a selfish sport. So you kind of have to shut some people out, and it's like, it's how they take it. And I guess it's kind of a blessing and a curse in a way. So I feel like the balance of just doing it is just whatever is in your best interest and whatever makes you the happiest, I guess.
Sure.
That's a really, I really appreciate your description of like what, I mean, you have lived it, are living it, are in it. Like it's, firsthand. And so it's cool as someone who's never gone down that road, especially not to that degree. Like, oh, wow, that's something you don't really consider. Like, it to be very, very intense. You know that it's a super, super serious endeavor. And if you don't take it seriously, you're fucked. Like there's, like you said, it's black and white. There's not really a middle ground. The middle ground is extreme in nature. But those are some of the things I think that people may not really consider, but you said that really well. So that's cool.
And I think it's too, like you said, because there are a lot of people that like to bodybuild or kind of try to they fight that balance, because it is like I said, it's very selfish. So it's like sometimes if there's a partner in your relationship that's not, really bodybuilder or things like that, like they try to like think like the whole Team Tequila thing. Like you think you can still like drink and go out and like try to find that leeway and be like, oh, well, one day is not bad or things like that. But like to actually be a good competitive bodybuilder, like you definitely do have to make sacrifices. And it's like kind of like anything in the fitness world. It's like you just need your goals to be feasible. So it's like if you want that lifestyle, you just kind of have to go like it's just black and white. And I feel like sometimes people just want to prep to do the bodybuilding thing, but to actually be competitive and an elite standard, it's like, it's just black and white. You just have to do those things.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Hell yeah.
All right. So a little bit of a pivot. So your coaching platform draws upon the awareness and the need for hormone optimization to feel your best to support fitness and dietary efficacy. Is this applicable to all clients? Does this factor mostly toward your female coaching population or the female population as a whole? What do you think?
So that's something that I kind of have found a passion for going into coaching and all of this. So like, obviously I said I came from the medical field as well. And me, like back in New York and kind of through all the things, I just kind of had personal experiences with my own personal hormones. And it wasn't so much even bodybuilding. It was just even, I look back at the days of when I was in college and I was, staying up late studying. I was doing group fitness classes. Not only was I still doing the group fitness classes, but I was going to the gym and doing like double sessions, like training double, just doing nonsense. I think of that like all the time. 100% in a deficit too. So like I was not eating enough. I was not sleeping. And at the time, like I was on birth control and I ended up getting off of it, but I just didn't get my period for like 2.5 years. Wow. And just no rhyme or reason. And the doctors just kept telling me like, oh, it's fine. It'll come back. Like you're good. You're healthy. You look great. And I'm like, no, like this is not okay. Like I was losing my hair. Like I was always tired and like nothing was making sense. And it wasn't until I like kind of just with my own advocate and like kind of used myself as a guinea pig. And it's like, there's so much more to just dieting and exercising. Like your hormones make up your entire body. And I feel like a lot of people, especially in Western medicine, just kind of push that to the side as long as you check your boxes and you don't have cancer and you're not dying.
And you're like not going to kill yourself. And they're like, oh,
yeah, great. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Drink. You're doing good. Yeah.
Yep.
Go and go out. Like, it's like no one gives a shit. So it was like just things like that. And then I always felt bad too for middle-aged women. They're just like always struggling with hot flashes and things like that. And doctors are
menopause.
Like, yeah. And they don't even do like a full hormone panel. They're just like, oh, well, we can do a hysterectomy and then you don't have your female parts. And then they're like, oh, well, we can give you some estrogen and you're fine. And it's just like, there's no one actually dives into those things. So that's kind of where I realized, and even having friends in the medical field, that it's like doctors don't also do like rotations in just hormones. Like they just do the generalized PCPs and things like that, So, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going on a rant here, but
no, it's good.
Needless to say, like, as far as your question, I'm trying to go back to, I feel like I don't know if I hit all the points, but as far as like, the hormone, it really just goes for everybody, whether it's females, males. It's just, you do have to be your own advocate. And the whole hormone thing is just, it's more to it than just, like if you're sick or things, like symptoms do add up and you do have to be your own advocate in that way.
Yeah.
Have you seen, you go ahead.
Sorry. I just wanted to add something like you spoke to the middle-aged women specifically and how I feel like in terms of populations or people groups, like elderly people as a whole are just like, all right, fuck you. And then middle-aged women also, like if a guy can't get a boner, there's $100 million into research instantly. Here's 3 options. We're going to shock your gooch with this thing and do this and yada, yada. There's like solutions quickly. And then they figure out what works, what doesn't. With women, I can't tell you how many patients I've worked with that I'm like, they're experiencing things like this and they're like so brushed to the side. And it's just like, yeah, sucks. Sorry. Like, get through these next 10 years, I hope. And it's like, oh, I feel like killing my partner some days. Like, literally, I want to slit his throat in his sleep. I want to blah, blah. Like, I don't think people understand how intense the insanity can feel. I don't, but I am very empathetic and having the privilege of hearing people's stories in this capacity. Like, I had no idea. I mean, I knew it sucked. Like, it sounds miserable, but I didn't know that it was like that bad or could be. And then you pair that with people who are like PMDD prior, like, which is like, for anyone who doesn't know, like really dysphoric periods, or just any kind of hormone dysfunction. And it's like, man, what a shame that there is just no care. And in the 80s, there was like sort of a shift towards using HRT, and it was like great. And then someone was like, no, everyone's going to get cancer from this, so stop it altogether. Now it's like completely thrown away. And now I feel like we're starting to get a little bit of the like freedom and momentum. But again, honestly, from my side, I think it kicked off more from men's clinics being like, hey, dude, your T levels are fucking 2 out of 1,000. Like, let's pump you up. And now it's like, hey, maybe women could benefit from this too. So I appreciate you bringing attention to that. And I just wanted to really hone in on that because it's an important thing to share.
Well, it's funny you say that about it coming more alive now. Like, it definitely is. And I mean, I do thank social media and things like that too, because people are being more aware and talking about it more. But it's funny you say that the reason it started was because of, and now I know you guys are men, but it really did start because of men. And a lot of these clinics that they have now are men focused, which is great. And I mean, it's still, they're allowing women patients to go in, but then there's still not enough studies or research or even just knowledge out there of like proper dosing for things for females as well. So it's like still, these studies are just still off of the male. And it's just like, you know, it's just, it really is wild to me.
Well, the systems also in place that work against you are also very robust too, because men, I mean, we have kind of a natural spectrum and gradation to what our hormones will do under normal life circumstances. You'll get a snapshot of that and okay, this is what we reverse that. But with women, especially because you said birth control, I mean, you are in a random state of chemistry your whole life. So you don't even get the same luxury. You have to basically do like a reverse mathematical equation to see where your hormones might actually be in relation to whether you're on progesterone or estrogen. So like there needs to be better systems in place. And, you know, you already are at a I'm preaching to the choir, but again, also empathizing is like, you might feel your best a third out of the month. And then you have 3 decades to look forward to. And then in your 40s, you're like, oh, now we're doing this. Cool. So like there needs to be better systems for you to have better quality of life and performance along the way.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, performance is a big thing too. And I just feel like, and a lot of my clients are middle-aged women and they're almost my favorite because I do have like a soft spot for them because I feel bad because it's like they come to this point and it's like I said, it's like they go to their doctors for needs and they're just like, well, everything's fine. So you don't need anything. And it's like performance wise, it's like, why do you have to get to the point of 40 and 50 and be like, oh, well, you already did your time. You're good. Like, you know, like we don't appreciate how you perform. Like,
yeah,
it's just sad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's problematic to be absolutely sure. And on the Western medicine side, constantly combating other medications that who really knows what the long-term ramifications are for. So it's like a lot of times like things look normal and you're like, well, I want to pull my own skin off. I have 0 sex drive and I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. So like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
And it comes down to, I mean, even both of you can see too, it's just like either your clients or patients. It's like no one in the Western medicine even gives a shit about your diet. Like they ask you the checklist
or what your lifestyle circumstances are, like your movement.
And you know, you're going to lie to the doctor. Like, oh, you're not eating bad. Like, I don't eat, you know, I don't have the midnight munchies at, you know, doing all this shit. DoorDash. You're not going to tell your doctor that. But it's like no one's actually monitoring your diet either. And that's like that's where a lot of it just stems from as well.
Yeah.
Well, you said you have a lot of middle-aged women clients. That's perfect segue as well. Your roster and the testimonials you'll post seem to have a lot of equal helping of both physique competitors as well as general population health improvement. What is kind of the closest resonance for you? What's close to home in terms of what keeps you like driven in this game?
Well, I mean, I always say I can't say that I have favorite clients, but I do. Obviously, I always love.
We're here to alienate everybody.
I've always been. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, just being an athlete myself on the competitor side, but like I said, it's just, especially as long as you can be a good listener and execute the plan. Bodybuilding, prep, athlete, like it's black and white. But it's like that's where you get to the middle-aged women where I kind of have a soft spot for, and they're kind of like my favorite, especially moms, because that's the thing too. Me as a bodybuilder, like I say, it's kind of selfish, right? Like you're in your own space, you got to do your own things. You tell people no, like no big deal. But like moms have I I've even had a couple physique competitors that are moms, and it's like, you have like 4 young children you have to do all these things for, plus a husband, and you're working full time, and you got to prep and do cardio and all the things. It's like mom strength is so different. So like my favorite is just, even whether you're a competitor or not, or just a normal, mom trying to feel your best. It's like, I love when they find their like back in their spot. They're like they're good space. They like feel good again. They feel strong in their skin, and they just feel confident again. That's always my favorite.
No, there's something to be said too. Like the female bandwidth when it's really dialed in is crazy, because it makes us as men look real bad. Like, we'll complain about the smallest thing. Women's like, I do this, as I'm up at 4 a.m. I go to bed at midnight and I do all of this. And I now have a budding bodybuilding career. It's like, damn, that fucking laundry in the corner kind of sucks. That's about it.
Yeah, right.
Dinner tonight. Like, it's like, and then like she's already done all of the things. I like for 3 other people too. It just always has been wild to me.
No, it's truly impressive for sure. All right. So despite calling Nashville home at the moment, you travel all the time to support clients who compete. What other cities do you hold dear? Do you ever circle back to home? And is there a gym somewhere specifically that is like your personal mecca?
So I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day, and they were asking me that, because I think if I could like say like what my favorite thing to do in the world is, I do, especially the last 3 months of summer, I've traveled just nonstop. But I do love just traveling to new places and trying new gyms. Like I say like one day I'll just make a vlog about that, just like going to new gyms. Love it. I'd obviously go home a lot to New York, but I feel like as far as staple gyms, I feel like my favorite gym I think I've ever been to was once I won my pro card. I had a trip to San Diego and Hawaii planned. It was, one was like for sponsorship, and 2 was like to help out with another show and whatnot. But it was called the Gym in San Diego. It was just the coolest place ever. And it was like, that was my first gym actually to train at as a pro. And I remember walking into, and I was still like peeled for my show. And everybody was just like, immediately knew I was a pro and already was asking me questions. And it was such a welcoming environment. And just the setup alone was like so cool. Cause also San Diego is like so expensive. And it was like, just so like, a yearly membership at the gym in San Diego was only like $300, which is like dirt cheap.
Whoa.
That's insane.
And it was just like, everybody was so chill and cool, and the environment was great. So I feel like that was just kind of a first stepping. I don't know. That place will always like kind of hold a cool spot in my space. Another one is probably MI40 in Tampa.
I was about to say, I've seen you at MI40 in Tampa before. So
yeah, that was another one where after I won the Yorton in 2022, I actually went to, that's where I kind of opened up to NPC a little bit, because I went to nationals with a friend in December, like 2 months after the Yorton. And that was like the first time I went to, and I saw like actual real bodybuilder, like real pro bodybuilders. And I just remember thinking that they were so elite and at such a different level of training. Like people were just screaming and grunting in the gym, like dying till failure. Like, what is happening here?
You're like, I love this. Whatever this is, I love it.
Right. And it was just like, people were like just cheering you on from across the gym. And it was just like such a serious work zone. Like it was just, I've never seen anything like it. And now going back, like, because I've been back there so many times this year too, it's almost like nostalgic. Like, it's like, oh my God, like I'm a pro now training at MI40. But then cool. It's like, lastly, it's like to think of the whole Nashville thing, because I don't know if Nashville is forever home. But I mean, Gym 5 has made me pro. Like Gym 5 was my prep gym. So it was like, you know, I'm kind of in the works of like, where am I going to end up now and stuff. But Nashville has definitely made a huge part of this career. And it's just kind of sad to think, like, if I leave, like Gym 5 was like my prep, my pro debut gym. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know,
it's a nice tent pole to have though. I mean, it is a special place, and it's not just like we all train there and I work there. But it really
and that's the thing too. And I can't even say it in like a biased way, but it was just like, I mean, that's what turned me pro was Gym 5.
Damn. It's fun watching you like light up talking about all these different things. And it butted a question for me. When you think about bodybuilding and how much you've learned throughout your whole process of like going through all of it, What do you wish more people knew about it as a whole? Like, I feel like from the biggest bird's eye away, it gets a lot of flack. Like, right, like there's a lot of judgment around it, and like not positively, right? Like, I feel like more people like, I don't know, scoff at like, what are you, a bodybuilder? You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I know you know. So what do you wish more people like knew about it and appreciated about it that you think is just like not common knowledge, and from like your like learnings and living it?
I feel like a lot of people immediately just, which rightfully so, because like anything, there's good and bad to it. So I mean, there's the bad and the scary of bodybuilding, of the steroid use, and you know, even just bringing your level to, you know, like I even say to people, bodybuilding is not necessarily a healthy sport. Like, but then again, it's like, what is considered healthy? Because you can look at like wrestlers. I mean, they still have to suck weight. I mean, football. I mean, you're getting hit by like a 350 pound lineman, like to the face, like to the head. I mean, yeah, you have a helmet on, but I mean, there's still, in any sports, there's drastic and dramatic issues and side effects. I mean, even like back in college, I actually did a study on how women's soccer was like the most leading cause for concussions, like shit like that. Like, so I mean, sure, it's like self-induced, but it's still trauma to the head. Like, whatever, what's better? So I feel like always just that drastic, bad black view that no one ever actually wants to dive into or like take this time to, like you said, like actually appreciate it. Because I mean, yes, I will be the first to say that bodybuilding is not a considered health phase, especially like the last 12 weeks of bodybuilding prep. But bodybuilding as a whole, and the off season and everything, I mean, routine, nutrition, it's just wild what you can do and how much better you can feel if you just dial in your nutrition and just go to the gym. Like it's just wild, like little life things, like drinking. Like, it's just funny too. I mean, it's such a second nature to me, and I'm sure you too as well. But it's just like the simple fact of like eating protein, drinking water, going to the gym, and getting a good night's sleep. Those 4 things can change your life, and those are like the fundamentals of bodybuilding. But to some people, it is so so foreign. It's like they drink 20 water a day, and I'm like, what are you doing all day? You're over ounces of water, like just little things like that. So it really just has not only made me like better in a work way, in a work ethic way, but just a healthier individual.
Yeah, I think a good takeaway from that is, one, the more hard stuff you do, the easier life becomes, because by contrast, those decisions that might trip up most people, it's like that could be like the most infinitesimally small thing after you've put yourself through the ringer for literal years. So it does change your frame of reference. And then also too, talking about the competitive life of any sport or pursuit, it seems that there's a correlation that the more elite the level you have to take it or get to, the more it can take from you. It's just this so much harder to maintain, and so much of yourself physicality, mentally wise, is just you have to invest and potentially lose in its pursuit to maintain that.
No, for sure. And I always say that too. It's like, I mean, if there's anything that I take from prep, it's like, if you can do it while you're in prep, like nothing's hard at that point. Like, you take your body hard level willingly. Like, I even think when I first moved down here, I was bartending, part-time on Broadway as well. And I bartended Cinco de Mayo at a tequila bar on Broadway when I was 8 days out from my first show last May.
Oh my God.
I was like, if I think back to that, and I'm like, I don't even know how I functioned, but it's just like, if I made it through that, like, I can make it through anything.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild. I think in all the times that I've had bodybuilding clients or patients that are coming through the clinic, like, something that I didn't recognize for some reason until I started working with them on injury stuff or whatever it may be, was the level of like needle point precision awareness that they have of their own body in space. Is like, there are very few other people that I've ever come across that have that degree of harnessed control of every inch of them. And that's really fucking cool. And that takes a long time to develop, I'm sure. And so it's like, that's fucking badass. Like that is not an easy thing to build.
It's not, and I think that's the most rewarding thing I think of it. It's just like you said, like it's just like I just know myself so well, and it just sounds like kind of like, you know, like some people are like, okay, like that's great, I know myself too. But you actually, like, it's just like the littlest things or the littlest habits you can do, and like I even said, when it's black and white, it's like just drawing out a map and following it. It's like you can just bring my even just physique level of just something here to like something so extreme, and it's just having that full control is just, it's just awesome.
Yeah. Love it.
As a funny, this is unrelated, but kind of related to what was said just a little bit ago. But before you and I, Cassandra, actually met, I saw you walk in, and for anyone who can't really, unfortunately, tell with this view, but Cassandra looks like an action figure. It's crazy. Her body is insane. But first time she walked in, it's like, okay, clearly she's a bodybuilder. But there was a gentleman at the desk talking about your bartending into tequila slinging. But you walked in, you walked right through, and this guy like was like really like taken back, and he's like, "That's the girl." I was like, "Okay, what does that mean?" He's like, "That's the girl at the bar with the shoulders." And I'm like, okay, so clearly he saw you a night prior, some tourist who was like on a day pass, but completely enamored.
You never told me that story. That's actually really funny.
Yeah. That was my
awesome.
first. That was the first time I saw you, and that was like my first like Venn diagram interaction with you and someone else. So just like, he's like, that's her. That's the bartender with the shoulders. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Well, it used to be like an ongoing joke too, because like as a pretty girl, they always say like you get tips and stuff, like, right? Like you
Pretty
wear
privilege
or whatever. And I was like, mine were my shoulders and my biceps. That's what got me. That's what got me.
Oh my God.
It was always the icebreaker. Like everybody would be like, I'm like, yep, I'm a bodybuilder. Yes, I am.
That's sick. Ronnie, do you want to hit her with the Siggy?
Yeah. So you have a day totally unencumbered, fully to yourself. You can be anywhere in the world. Where are you going to be, and how are you taking your coffee?
Wow. Where am I going to be?
It's like MI40, duh.
You know what though? As much as I love Tampa and Florida, and who knows if that may be home soon. I don't know. I think I would take it back to San Diego. I think I would be on the coast. The weather in San Diego, man, I mean, it's just perfect every day. I'd sit right coming back from the gym. I'd probably have, if anybody knows me or follows me on Instagram, my protein loaf. Probably would have that afterwards with, honestly, I drink my coffee I drink it because I'm a psychopath. I drink it black with a little bit of cinnamon.
I mean, you're talking to two black coffee drinkers or yourself.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I just appreciate good coffee too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a good blend, like a dark roast or something, just on ice, sitting by the beach.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Love it.
Man.
Well, Cassandra, this has been an absolute pleasure, privilege, enlightening, inspiring. What do we need to know about you? Where can people find you? Tell us a little bit more about Grip Peak Performance.
Well, thank you both, obviously, for having me too. This has been great, and you guys are both great. Where you can find me, you can obviously find me on Instagram. My personal handle is Cedra Fit. My coaching brand, it's not Team to Kill anymore, but that will always be long lived. It is Grip Peak Performance. We also have a website as well, so grippeakperformance.com, or on Instagram is grip_coaching. And you can find us there. We offer numerous services. I have another coach underneath me as well. We do nutrition, training, all online. Depending on where I am in the world, I will do in person. And then hormone and competition prep as well.
Dope.
Fucking awesome.
Sick. Yeah. Well, we cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, great to meet you. And what a fun way to like
say hi to you now when I'm at the gym.
Yeah, I got the Cassandra wave.
Yeah, so you'll get a side eye and like a
I'll take it. Thanks, Cassandra.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a great one.